Well, that's...
Good evening, I'm John Callaway, and welcome to Chicago Tonight. The front page headline in the Chicago Tribune of Sunday, April 15th may have gotten your attention. Quote, Illinois tax bite up 128% since 1980, end quote. The Trib reported that an average tax-paying family of four that makes $40,000 a year and owns a house in the Chicago area will have seen their taxes, including federal income and Social Security taxes, increase from $5,435 at the start of the 1980s to $12,384 at the start of the 1990s, which represents that increase of 128%. The Trib reported that the average Illinois family will have seen its income increase just a little more than 100% during that 10-year period. Well, does that family feel that it has gotten its money's worth in the increased tax burden? One of the ways that question may be answered in the near future is the fate of the proposed Tax Accountability Amendment. Tonight, we will explain what that amendment is, and we will debate its merits. Senator Don Clark Netch of Chicago is with us, and she's the Democratic Party candidate for state controller. State Senator Walter Dudich, Republican from Chicago, who introduced the Tax Accountability Amendment legislation in the Illinois State Senate, and Senator Dudich is the Republican candidate for the 11th District congressional seat. And Pat Quinn is with us tonight. He is the Executive Director of the Coalition for Political Honesty and the Democratic Party candidate for state treasurer.
Working parents with kids. So I support real tax cuts, Proposition 2, which would roll back the property tax, and the Illinois Taxpayer Initiative that gives tax relief to working men and women in Illinois who live from paycheck to paycheck.
Now, you're going awfully fast. What's Proposition 2?
The idea of Proposition 2 is to put limits, levy limits on the property tax and give specific concrete relief, tax cuts to average citizens.
And what do you say to those who say the reason you're against it is because you didn't invent it?
We've organized Proposition 2. It's going to be on the ballot this November.
Senator Dudich, what's your overview? Why are you for this amendment?
Well, first of all, I'd like to correct Mr. Quinn. The flaw is with his Proposition 2 because it is advisory. It's not binding. This is the only initiative that is binding. And the beauty of it is it's a citizens' initiative. No politicians, none of us had much input into it.
Welcome State Senator Walter Dudich, a Republican of Chicago's Northwest Side and a candidate for Congress from the 11th Congressional District who supports the amendment. State Representative Al Ronan, a Democrat from the Northwest Side who opposes the amendment idea. Senator Dudich, you are the author of the legislation that was defeated in the state Senate, which is now moving forward to amendment stage if the Supreme Court decides that it is constitutional. Why are you supportive of the amendment?
Well, first of all, Bruce, you know that the Tax Accountability Amendment was created by the people, the individuals, the taxpayers, not the politicians. And almost 500,000 of them have signed petitions calling for, they want to restrict the government's ability to raise taxes.
In the northwest suburbs tonight, the burning issue there was taxes, and at a rally, rollback was the word that could be read on everyone's lips. As Terry Savage reports, it is the word at the center of a taxpayer revolt.
Another summer night and another tax protest.
The Republicans gathered in their county headquarters on Dearborn Street to denounce the lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of the Tax Accountability Amendment. Party Chairman Richard Seibel and Senator Walter Dudich blamed Speaker Mike Madigan for engineering the challenge and then using the bar associations to file the suit.
If Michael Madigan did not want the voters to have a voice in this matter, he should have filed his own lawsuit.
This time, Mr. Madigan has hidden behind his hired guns the Chicago and the Illinois Bar Associations.
Special report, Pocketbook Politics. Leslie Nickel reports from Chicago that the S&L crisis is now a major issue in a longtime congressman's re-election bid.
On the stump in Chicago's 11th District, this is State Senator Walter Dudich.
After 26 years of free rides to Congress, 1990 will not be a free ride for Congressman Frank Annunzio.
There has not been a race in which a Republican has won with a mostly city district.
Even though Chicago and Democratic Party are all but synonymous, political analysts see Dudich as a strong contender. The 11th District, referred to here as the Bungalow Belt, has a large conservative constituency, and Walter Dudich embraces their issues. But analysts also point to the fact that incumbent congressmen like Annunzio have a 98% re-election rate. Nonetheless, Republicans point to their latest poll, which shows Dudich as one of 4 challengers in the country, where a Republican challenger is within 10 percentage points of his Democrat incumbent opponent, a sign that the S&L crisis may be starting to hit home. Leslie Nichol, NBR, Chicago.
Who will the people blame when their taxes go up to pay for that? A lot of politicians aren't very popular these days, and today irate taxpayers from coast to coast collectively stood up to protest. And in Chicago, the sounds were the same. Protesters were not very happy.
No more taxes! No more taxes!
The Chicago rally drew about 200. State Senator Walter Dudich appealed to the crowd to dump his opponent, who Dudich calls a big spender.
The public is sick and tired of what's going on in Washington.
The taxpayers are, and of right ought to be, the employers of politicians and bureaucrats, and are entitled to receive fair value for the hard-earned tax dollars they furnish.
Make sure you vote.
My name is Frank.
Frank, make sure you vote.
Oh, I will.
God bless you.
Walter Dudich is a rarity, an elected Republican state senator from Chicago, who as a former police officer and Vietnam veteran caught the eye of national Republican Party leaders. They felt the 40-year-old son of Ukrainian immigrants could beat one of Washington's most entrenched congressmen, Democrat Frank Annunzio of Chicago. Annunzio had major congressional oversight responsibility for the savings and loan industry. And since that industry has been rocked by scandal, with taxpayers left paying the multi-billion-dollar bill, Republicans thought Annunzio was vulnerable.
If you want to change in Washington, if you want to get a better Congress, you have to start by electing better congressmen.
Dudich is a non-stop campaigner, but has been frustrated by Annunzio's failure to debate and his rare campaign appearances, linking massive S&L campaign contributions to Annunzio and detailing his use of congressional clout to get jobs for his 2 sons-in-law.
Next tonight, a political race in Illinois that has the incumbent running for his political life. Democrat Frank Annunzio, the 26-year veteran Chicago congressman, is being challenged by Republican State Senator Walter Dudich. Voter disgust over new taxes in the budget agreement and anger at the Congress that passed it has both candidates fighting to capture the anti-incumbency mood of the electorate. Elizabeth Brackett reports.
People in this community have lost money. Skokie Savings alone went under. His son-in-law was a director, or was a vice president of it. His district office is in a branch, it shares the same building as the branch office of Skokie. They went under. When people realize that Frank Annunzio's relatives, close friends, and he personally have benefited from this S&L scandal and this fiasco, they're going to knock him out of office.
Annunzio hotly denies the charges by Dudich.
A plan for a property tax cap in Cook County, except in Chicago, may be in trouble. Republicans plan to introduce a 5% property tax cap in the legislature next week. Here is Hugh Hill.
When the Illinois legislature adopted a tax increase ceiling on real estate, the measure did not include Cook County. Now it appears that the Democratic-controlled House of Representatives may again block another effort by Republicans to pass a tax cap for Cook as well. Republican Senator Walter Dudich of Chicago says Speaker Mike Madigan better not get in the way.
If the Speaker is opposed to what the constituents of his caucus want and need, and if he continues to stop property tax caps for his constituents, not only should he be removed as Speaker, he should be voted out of office.
Police officer, I noticed, wearing his junior police badge. Senator Ross came up with a vehicle displaying flashing lights. The person driving the vehicle must proceed with due caution, yield the right-of-way by making a lane change into a lane not adjacent to the governor. To the contrary, notwithstanding. All those in favor will vote aye, opposed to vote nay. The voting is open. Have all voted to wish? Have all voted to wish? Have all voted to wish? Take the record on that question. There are no nays, no ayes, 54 nays, none voting present, and the motion fails. Page 525, line 25 of Senate Bill 2393. Mr. Secretary, read the motion. Very good boy.
Stand adjourned, sine die. Have a wonderful summer, ladies and gentlemen, and God bless all of you.